Hello, it's Jay here again and welcome to another tutorial. So after the brief sideline in the previous video, we're back in the enemy attack script, and let's begin as always by getting our variables in place. So we'll make these all public to begin with, and the first one can be of type int. And we'll call this underscore damage dealt to player. And let's give this a value of 5. And we'll close the line off. So let's get this into the comments. Defines amount of damage player. And we'll just say player receives. And we'll come to the next line, public int again. And I'm sure you remember from our player health script, we're also able to give the player an adrenaline boost when the enemy attacks or when the enemy hits the player. So let's define that as well. So underscore adrenaline boost. We'll just call it any adrenaline boost amount. And again, let's give this a value, but let's give it a value of 25. Let's give it a high amount, this one. Into the comments. Defines amount of adrenaline player. We'll say player receives again. And let's come here. And this time I want public bool underscore, and we're going to call this damage activated. We'll close the line off into the comments. So defines if damage is active, and this will make more sense when we actually come to filling out this function. You'll see how it works then. And we'll come to the line below, and this time we'll say public float underscore, and we want attack cool down, and we want to say reset. And let's give this value of 1f. We'll close the line off. Now, there are lots of different ways we could have done the attack cooldown, but I am aware that we'll all be using, as I say, different enemy models with different types of animation. So by doing it this way as a public float, you not only are we keeping the enemy attack script nice and clean and simple, but we'll also have a way of adjusting it in the inspector, because this value will be different for each and every one of you based on how long your animations are. So this is just a way to ensure that, like I said, the enemy attack script's not kept clean and simple, and it will also work with everybody's project. So with that said, let's come back and we'll put in the comments. So we'll say defines what attack cool down. We'll just say resets to. And public float, and I'm sure you've guessed what this one's going to be, underscore, and this is actually going to be the attack cooldown. And we'll close the line off and into the comments. So we'll say defines attack delay. And for this one, we do not actually need to give it a value. So let's come to the void start. Now we've got all our variables in place. So the first one is damage activated. Let's make sure that is equal to false on startup. And we'll put that into the comments. Damage active is false on startup. So I'm sure you've guessed how this is going to work now. Obviously, it's going to be false when we actually come. So the enemy attacks the player, then this will be active, set to true, and then obviously once it's finished attacking, we'll reset back to false. So let's come to the next line. Underscore attack cooldown is equal to 0. We'll close the line off and into the comments. So we'll say attack cooldown equals 0 on start up. And we'll just save that there for the moment. So this is to avoid constant damage to the player. So if I come back to the enemy model, so here's our sphere collider attached to the enemy's hand. So if the enemy was to strike the player, it would constantly deal 5 while ever the player was in this sphere. So one swipe could literally wipe off the entire player health for a very, very large chunk, rather than just the value of 5 which was set here. So this is what we're going to use, the attack cooldown and the attack cooldown reset. So the enemy swings, it hits the player, and when that happens, the attack cooldown will be reset to 1, and it won't allow the enemy to damage a player again until it's counted all the way down again. Now obviously it can be set to 0 on startup, so the enemy can damage the player straight away on its first strike. Automatically it will reset back to 1. Now this is fine for my model, this value, but as I said, you'll need to experiment to find one that works with your animation length depending on what model you're using. So I hope that makes sense. Obviously we'll go through it in greater detail as when we actually come around to filling out this void here. And as always, you can always leave a comment down below or private message me and I'll try my best to answer. So let's come to the void update, and we'll say if open brackets underscore attack cooldown is greater than 0. Let me just put the space in, and let's come to the comments now. So we'll say if attack cooldown is greater than 0, we'll come to the next line, and we want the attack cooldown, and we'll say minus equal, and we'll just say 1 times time dot delta time, and we'll close the line off there. Just get rid of that typo, and I'm just using the value of 1 here. Again, you may want to experiment with this value. So we'll come into the comments, and let's just say then decrease attack cooldown value, and let's come here if open brackets attack cooldown is less than 0. We'll close brackets. Again, straight into the comment. So if attack cooldown is less than 0, and as always, attack cooldown, then we make it equal to 0 to avoid a negative value. We'll close the line off and into the comments. So we'll say then make attack cooldown equal to 0. And we'll save that off there. And I think we'll leave it here for this video. And in the next video, we'll continue on and we'll begin to flesh out these 3 functions down here. So I hope you enjoyed this lesson. I hope to see you next time. And until then, as always, bye for now.